In Chapter 11, we are looking at muscle fitness, basic principles, and strength. By the end of this chapter, you will be able to explain the difference between strength and muscular endurance, describe some of the health benefits of muscle fitness, describe the various types of muscles and muscle fibers, describe some of the methods of progressive resistance exercise used to improve muscle fitness. Muscle fitness is comprised of two health-related parts of physical fitness: strength and endurance. Muscle endurance is the ability to contract a muscle many times without tiring. Strength indicates the amount of force a muscle can exert. Muscle strength and endurance are developed by progressive resistance exercise, where you gradually increase the amount of overload you apply to the muscle. Exercises used to develop muscular endurance and strength differ in the number of reps and the amount of resistance. Reps are the number of times you do an exercise, where a set is a group of repetitions. Muscles in the body create movement that allow you to do activities. There are three muscle types: cardiac, which is found in your heart; skeletal, which is attached to bones and make movement possible; and smooth muscle, which are found on the walls of your inner organs. Both smooth and cardiac are involuntary muscles. Skeletal muscles are voluntary because you control them. There are two types of muscle contractions. An isotonic contraction is where a contraction that pulls on the bones to produce movement. There are eccentric isotonic contractions and concentric isotonic contractions. An eccentric isotonic contraction is where your muscle lengthens, where a concentric isotonic contraction is where your muscle shortens. Isometric contractions are contractions where muscles pull with equal force, so no movement occurs. Skeletal muscles are made of many muscle fibers, which are long cylindrical muscle cells. There are three types of muscle fibers: slow twitch, which contract at a slow rate, generate less force than fast twitch, but are resistant to fatigue; fast twitch, which contract quickly and generate more force when they contract, but they also fatigue more quickly; and intermediate, that have characteristics of both slow twitch and fast twitch fibers. The types of fibers in your muscles are determined by your genes. However, you can increase the strength and endurance of your muscles with training. The following terms refer to muscle fitness and muscle fitness exercises. Weight training is exercises done to improve muscular strength and endurance. Resistance training is the same as weight training, except that the machine provides resistance instead of free weights. Circuit training is continuous training from station to station, keeping your heart rate elevated within the target zone. A 1-rep max assesses the amount of weight you can lift in one successful repetition. Absolute strength is the amount of weight or resistance you can overcome regardless of your body size, where relative strength is the amount of weight or resistance you can overcome adjusted for your body size. In section 11.2, you're going to describe health and wellness benefits of strength, explain the FIT formula for developing strength, and describe some basic guidelines for safe progressive resistance exercise. Strength is the amount of force a muscle can exert. If weight training is done properly, it can have health benefits for teens just as it does for adults. Keep in mind the fitness principles as they apply to muscle strength. The principle of overload: a muscle must contract harder than normal to become stronger. Principle of progression: you need to overload gradually. Principles of specificity: you must exercise the specific muscles you want to develop. And principle of rest and recovery: you need to allow muscles time to rest and recover after a workout. We apply the FIT principle to determine how to build muscle strength. In order to build muscle strength, your frequency of muscle strength exercises needs to be 2 to 3 days a week. Your intensity: you need to lift heavier weight and resistance versus days when you do muscle endurance. Your time: you need to do 1 to 2 sets of 3 to 8 reps, and your type is the specific muscle that you are working. Resistance training guidelines: use the 3S model: slow, smooth, steady movements. Exercise through a full range of motion. Always use spotters when working with free weights. Do not hold your breath when you lift. Avoid overhead lifts with free weights. Avoid positions that cause the lower back to arch or the wrists to bend backwards. Never use weights carelessly, and never compete when you do resistance training.